Lies. They're not just words. They're a dance, a shadowy ballet where truth and deception tango. Some people are born with an uncanny ability to lead in this dance, their partners never suspecting a thing. Pathological liars. They're not just spinning tales, they're spinning a web of influence, a silk thread of control. But why? What's going on in their minds? And more importantly, what can we learn from them? Every lie they tell is a puzzle piece, a glimpse into the human psyche, a testament to the power of persuasion. But remember, every strength has its roots in necessity. So, let's dive into the psychology of people who lie a lot. Let's uncover the hidden strengths behind the deception. Let's start with a concept called theory of mind. It's the ability to attribute mental states, beliefs, intents, desires, emotions, to oneself and others. For pathological liars, this isn't just an ability, it's a superpower. They don't just see the world, they see the world through your eyes. But what drives them to use this power? What's the cost of this constant empathy? What is truth, but a fragile construct, built on the shifting sands of perception and agreement? It's not an absolute, but a consensus, a shared illusion that we cling to, like a life raft in the vast ocean of existence. This is the existential hook that snags those who lie, not out of malice, but out of a profound understanding of the fluid nature of reality. They see the world as a stage, where everyone is playing a role, but not everyone is aware of the script. Looking at the normal crowd, there's a palpable sense of unease, a dissonance that resonates deep within. They move in unison, like puppets on strings, their laughter timed to perfection, their smiles rehearsed. It's not just a crowd, it's a chorus, singing from a hymn book they didn't author. This is what Swedish philosopher Sven Hierkel termed normative existence, where individuals are enslaved to a social script, a set of unwritten rules that dictate behavior, thoughts, and even emotions. It's a comforting cage for some, but a stifling straitjacket for others. The sensation is akin to standing in a bustling marketplace, listening to the hum of conversations, the laughter, the clinking of glasses. It's not the sounds themselves that are disconcerting, but the realization that they are all following a melody, a rhythm that is not their own. This is the cognitive dissonance that fuels the tendency to lie. It's not a choice, but a coping mechanism, a way to reconcile the internal world with the external expectation. It's a defense mechanism, a way to set boundaries, to maintain a sense of autonomy in a world that feels increasingly scripted. This understanding leads to a profound question: is lying, in this context, a sign of moral turpitude, or a symptom of sensory processing sensitivity? Those who lie habitually are often highly attuned to the nuances of social interactions, the unspoken rules, the subtle cues. They see the world in high definition, experiencing the sensory overload that comes with such acute awareness. In this light, lying becomes a way to filter the noise, to protect oneself from the overwhelming bombardment of social expectations. It's a way to conserve energy, to focus on what's truly important. This insight sets the stage for a deeper exploration of the psychology behind habitual lying, a journey that leads us to the next question: what drives these individuals to create their own scripts, to author their own truths? In the grand theater of life, there are those who take on the role of the loud ones, the actors who believe their script is the only true narrative. These individuals are not merely telling lies, they are living them, convinced of their own performance. They embody what psychologist Carl Rogers termed incongruence, a state where one's self-image is out of alignment with reality. For the loud ones, every lie is a brushstroke, painting a picture of themselves that they desperately want to see. It's not merely deceit, it's a form of self-preservation, a defense mechanism to protect their fragile ego from the harsh spotlight of truth. The stage is their world, and they are the stars, even if the script is a fabrication. Contrast this with the director, the observer who understands the fluidity of the narrative. The director, much like the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche's concept of the Übermensch, has the power to rewrite the script at any moment. They see the lies of the loud ones not as threats, but as opportunities to reshape the story. The director's strength lies in their objectivity, their ability to step back and see the bigger picture. They understand that every lie is a chance to redirect the plot, to turn a scene of deception into a moment of revelation. It's not about control, it's about clarity, a strategic and rational approach to navigating the complexities of human interaction. The loud ones and the director represent two sides of the same coin, each with their own strengths and weaknesses. The loud ones may seem confident, but their world is fragile, built on a foundation of lies. They are like actors who forget they are acting, living in a reality they've created, much like the concept of cognitive dissonance, where individuals hold two or more contradictory beliefs or values simultaneously. On the other hand, the director is the silent observer, the strategist who understands the power of perspective. They are not just viewers, they are participants who choose their role, their script, and their truth. Yet, the director can learn from the loud ones. The conviction, the passion, the unshakable belief in their performance is a force to be reckoned with. It's a reminder that perception is reality, and that sometimes, the truth is not as important as the belief in it. Meanwhile, the loud ones can learn from the director that the script is not set in stone, that they too can rewrite their narrative, that they can choose a truth that doesn't require constant performance. The interplay between these two roles is a delicate dance, a constant negotiation of reality and perception. In the grand theater of society, rules are the script, and most players perform their roles diligently. But what if you could improvise? What if you knew the script was never set in stone? This is the realm of the habitual liar, a place where deceit is not a moral failing but an expression of ultimate freedom. This perspective is not about condoning dishonesty but about understanding the psychological underpinnings of those who frequently bend the truth. According to self-determination theory, humans have three innate psychological needs: autonomy, competence, and relatedness. For those who lie frequently, deception can become a tool to fulfill the need for autonomy, a way to exert control over their narrative and, by extension, their life. Picture a child who learns that telling the truth about their feelings often leads to punishment or disappointment. They quickly adapt, using lies to navigate the treacherous waters of their environment. This is not just about avoiding trouble, it's about survival. The child is not weak or morally bankrupt. They are a creative problem solver, a master strategist. This is the essence of creative autonomy. The philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche spoke of the will to power, not as a desire to dominate others but as a drive to overcome challenges and create one's own path. For the habitual liar, each deception is a small act of defiance against societal scripts, a way to carve out a space where they can author their own story. Consider the social game of who's the best employee. Most players follow the rules, arrive on time, meet deadlines, and play nice. But the habitual liar might exaggerate their achievements, downplay their mistakes, or even fabricate incidents to gain an edge. They are not just playing the game, they are rewriting the rules. This is not about laziness or malice. It's about boundary setting. They are saying, first refuse to be constrained by your arbitrary rules. This is a form of rebellion, a way to assert their individuality in a world that often demands conformity. It's not hard to see how this can be twisted into a positive, creative force. Yet, this path is not without its pitfalls. Each lie is a thread in a tangled web, and the habitual liar must remember every detail to maintain their facade. This is a high-stakes game of memory and strategy. But for those who see lying as creative autonomy, the challenge is part of the thrill. It's a constant dance, a test of wit and adaptability. They are not just players, they are choreographers, directing their own life's performance. But where does this lead? Is this a sustainable path, or does it inevitably lead to isolation and distrust? The next question is whether this freedom is worth the cost. In the quiet corners of the world, there exist individuals who move like shadows, speaking only when necessary, revealing just enough to remain unnoticed. They are the quiet ones, the ghosts, who have mastered the art of invisibility. This isn't merely shyness, it's a calculated strategy, a defense mechanism against a world that seems to demand transparency at every turn. The quiet one understands that in a society obsessed with personal branding and constant visibility, the only true freedom lies in being an enigma. The peace that comes from this existence is profound. It's not the tranquility of a clear conscience, but the calm of a secret kept, a truth untold. The quiet one doesn't have to live up to expectations because no one knows what to expect. They are a blank canvas, and in that blankness, there is power. This aligns with the concept of self-determination theory, which posits that people thrive when they have autonomy and feel in control of their lives. For the quiet one, control is maintained through ambiguity. They are the puppet master in a theater of the unknown, pulling strings that no one else can see. The ghost persona is often misunderstood. It's not about loneliness or sadness, but about choice. It's about setting boundaries, about conserving energy for what truly matters. The quiet one observes, listens, and learns, but rarely divulges. They are like the philosopher Pascal's thinking reed, bending but not breaking, absorbing the world without being absorbed by it. This persona is a shield, a way to navigate a world that feels increasingly invasive. Surveillance is no longer just about cameras and trackers, it's about social media, about constant connection, about the pressure to share every thought and moment. In this landscape, the quiet one is a rebel, a nonconformist who refuses to be boxed in. There's a certain freedom in being a mystery. It's a way to remain unscathed by the judgments and criticisms that come with being known. The quiet one doesn't have to deal with the fallout of being misunderstood because they are, in essence, unknowable. They are like the concept of the unknown knowns in psychology, where a person knows something but doesn't know that they know it. In this case, the quiet one knows things about themselves that they choose not to reveal, and others don't even know to ask. This creates a safe distance, a buffer zone that protects the quiet one from the world's noise. It's not about deceit, but about selective revelation. The quiet one chooses when and what to share, and in that choice, there is immense power. This power is not about control over others, but about control over one's own narrative. It's a way to ensure that their story is told on their terms, not someone else's. This leads us to the inevitable question: what drives a person to choose this path, and what keeps them there? What is the cost of this freedom, and is it a price worth paying? At the apex of the psychological landscape of habitual liars lies a paradoxical phenomenon known as the transcendence. This is where the chronic liar, burdened by the weight of their deceit, begins to transcend the very fabric of their falsehoods. It's not a sudden enlightenment but a gradual, often subconscious, process of self-liberation. The liar starts to see the world not as a stage for their performances, but as a canvas for their truths. They begin to understand that their lies, once a shield, have become a cage. This realization is the first spark of transcendence. Picture a person who has spent years weaving intricate lies, each one a thread in a tapestry of deception. One day, they look at this tapestry and see not a masterpiece, but a maze. They realize that every lie they've told has led them deeper into a labyrinth of their own making. This is where the concept of cognitive dissonance, introduced by Leon Festinger, comes into play. It's the mental discomfort they feel when their actions, lying, conflict with their self-image, honest person. To resolve this dissonance, they start to change their narrative, not outwardly, but within. They begin to question the necessity of their lies, the validity of their deceit. This introspection is the first step towards transcendence. As they delve deeper into this introspective journey, they start to understand the power of authenticity. They realize that their lies, once a tool for control, have stripped them of their freedom. They begin to see that the truth, in its raw and unfiltered form, is liberating. This is where Viktor Frankl's concept of existential freedom comes into play. Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and renowned psychiatrist, believed that even in the most dire circumstances, humans possess the freedom to choose their attitude. The chronic liar, in this phase of transcendence, chooses the attitude of honesty. They understand that they are the authors of their own myth. They let others have their truth, their perceptions, their beliefs, their lies. But they choose their freedom, the freedom of authenticity, of self-acceptance, of raw, unfiltered truth. In this transcendence, they find their liberation. You are the author of your own myth. Let them have their truth. You have your freedom. As we've seen, those who frequently lie often possess a deep understanding of human behavior, a skill known as theory of mind. They've learned to navigate complex social landscapes, much like a tightrope walker balancing on a high wire. But here's the twist: this ability to understand and predict others' thoughts and emotions can be a superpower in fields like psychology, negotiation, or even creative writing. However, with great power comes great responsibility. The next step is harnessing this ability ethically. In our upcoming video, we'll explore the concept of moral licensing, and how those with a knack for deception can turn their insights into a force for good. So, if you've ever wondered how to use your understanding of human behavior to make a positive impact, stay tuned. And remember, knowledge is a tool, it's all about how you use it. In the meantime, we'd love to hear from you. Have you ever used your understanding of others to make a difference? Share your stories in the comments below. And if you found this video insightful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more explorations into the fascinating world of psychology. Until next time, keep walking that tightrope, just make sure you're walking towards the light.